I'm going to be reading from 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 9:24 through 27. Alright, here it goes. Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever. Therefore, I do not run like someone running aimlessly. I do not fight like a boxer beating the air. No, I strike a blow to my body and make it my slave, so that after I have reached to others, I myself will not be disqualified for the prize. And the next passage will be in Ephesians. I'll get to that in a second. Basically, alright, here's the thing. I have played football for many years as a kid, and also for a couple of years in high school. And when I played as a kid, I was a starter in small school, whatever, but or small town. But but when I was in high school, I didn't have such a luxury. I sat the bench the majority of the time, and I want to tell you that kind of sucks. And I didn't feel really like I could share in the victory, even though I was part of the team, whatever. What I'm trying to say is, we need to quit trying to sit on the sidelines when it comes to the things of God. When it comes to the because right now we're at war. In fact, I'm going to read from Ephesians 6 in a sec. We're in a war right now. And the last thing we need to do is sit on the sidelines and watch other people fight. Because while we're sitting on the sidelines, we're getting our faces beaten in. And getting the crap beat out of us. Because, we have to actively fight. In fact, let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, it says right here, for our struggle is not against flesh and blood. Ephesians 6, 12 and 13. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything to stand. Yeah, so it says right there, we have to be actively engaged. Didn't say put on your armor and just chill at the side. No, it said stand. And it's not talking about standing still. It said standing your ground. Meaning we're still fighting, and we're not running, but we're standing our ground. Even if we don't move forward, as long as we stand our ground and don't move backwards, we can still keep the enemy from advancing. And I think that's what we need to get here, is we are sometimes too complacent and too okay with things, with the status quo, and everything's chill. But the thing is, if the devil ain't messing with you, then there's an issue. He only messes with you if you're a threat. If you're not being messed with, you're not a threat, and then you're not doing any good for the kingdom of God. There's two kingdoms: kingdom of God and the kingdom of Satan. But we're not gonna, we're fighting against Satan, his kingdom, for the kingdom of God. And the thing is, if we're complacent, and see, I've been in the military for a number of years. Actually, I was active duty for a while. I deployed 15 months to Iraq. And one of the things they always told us in our training, when we were getting ready for Iraq, and while I was in Iraq, all 15 months, the whole entire time, never get complacent. Complacency kills. Because the moment we get complacent and we're like, oh, everything's cool, it's chill, it's whatever, that's when the enemy attacks. That's when they get us, and that's when people die. Never get complacent. It's the same thing in the spirit. As a Christian, never get complacent. Always stand your ground, ready to fight. Always be ready for a fight. Because the devil's not chilling. He's not sitting on the sidelines like, whatever. No. He's trying with all his might to destroy as many people and as many families as he can. As many Christians as he can. He's trying to drag as many souls to hell with him as he can. Why? Because he hates us. You know why he hates us? Because God loves us. And how do you attack somebody? How do you attack somebody you can't attack? Or that you have no way of being able to defeat? You attack something they love. Or in this case, someone they love. And God loves us. That's why Satan is trying so hard to attack us and destroy us. But God has given us the key. We have this armor. In Ephesians chapter 6, 10 through 18. Through 20, but I mean, if you want to get to the whole section, I have section titles and whatever. Anyway, if you want to read that later, I'm not going to read this whole, But the thing is we got to stand. We got to stand our ground. We got to put on the armor and stand our ground. Not sit on the sideline, chilling, watching everybody else. No. Out there in the field, standing our ground. Football analogy. Like I said, I played football. The offense. Well, the offensive line, what do? They stand their ground. And they try to block off the defense, who's trying to get to the quarterback, to keep the quarterback from scoring. So what I'm saying is standing on the sideline, you ain't doing that. You're not helping at all. But when you're playing football, you have to. When you're on offense, you have to stand your ground. Otherwise, you lose. Because if your quarterback gets tackled every time that the ball is snapped, you're never going to score. Yeah. So again, don't be a sideliner, be a player. And I'm not talking about, be actively engaged. That's what I'm saying. Be actively engaged in battle. Put on the full armor and stand your ground.